we can do it in the natural space as well. So, um, of course, I've looked and studied and researched and all these things so heavily because when you do psychology and all that, and you're spiritual or you love God and called, He begins to share other things, and so the amygdala, which is what I mentioned, it was designed by God. It was designed for an imprinting. And so we have this place in the limbic region, is what we call it. But this is our emotional house, right? It contains all our memories, our fears, and our emotions. And it's housed in a small area in the brain. And so it's kind of three parts: the amygdala, the hippocampus, and the frontal lobe. But I'm only going to tap the amygdala right now. So as it pertains to the amygdala, that is the unique printing. That's the imprinting. And so, my belief, based on what I've read, scripture and study, that, people continue to worry about these marks and things of the beast and all that kind of stuff. But what the Lord has shown me is that the amygdala is the mark. That's because if you research it, it is a unique mark or an imprinting, right? The only time the enemy can come in and infiltrate you, and as Dr. Sharmi has wonderfully, eloquently stated, swiper swipes your future, is because of the imprinting. And so that happens in the amygdala. The purpose of that is when issues arise, you're triggered. It brings back fragmented memories of things of the past. So Dr. Sharmi asked, you say that you don't have no, you see him, he, she, it, that, whatever, and you be like, oh, I can be around him, I'm good. But that doesn't determine the level of forgiveness or healing or what Dr. Sharma is talking about. Because of the imprinting, the only way you really gonna know is if that same offense that the enemy implanted in your place of vulnerability comes, not that person. So people get caught up in the person, place, thing, activity. No. What happens is, because it's a mark, it's a unique mark. It's the beast. Satan is a beast. Come on, y'all. So that unique mark has already been imprinted. And what I love about the brain, which I'm not going to go here, but I'm just going to do it real quick. What I love about the brain, God is so intentional on what he does. He gives us brain plasticity. So every night when we go to bed, our brain recalibrates. It rejuvenates. It reignites. There is chemicals that begin to flow through the brain. And so it goes to recalibrate. Now, what am I saying? The spirit, right? The Bible says that we're supposed to renew our minds daily. Now, what it means by daily is even the stuff that happened yesterday. Because if the natural brain recalibrates daily, what are you supposed to do spiritually? And I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna let my BF come on in here and pull y'all out of the pit, pull you out of the systems that you done locked your own self in. And I'm gonna be quiet.
Wait. Before
Bless
you,
y'all.
Wait. No. Wait. So you just said something. You just said that if we get enough sleep, that things are supposed to recalibrate themselves. But what happens when people don't get sleep? Can you just expound on that just a little bit?
So what happens is you become tormented. But now let me talk about sleep just a little bit, real fast. So when we are talking about sleep, do you know that you can literally die? I mean, in the grave where we bury you, if you go so many hours without sleep. We ain't even talking about food or water. I mean, without sleep, you can die. So what is that saying about the fact that you have to get rest? What happens is when you don't get enough sleep, it continues to cause your mind to decompensate. Listen, the neural pathway is the communicator. It is the connector to your body and to the Lord. And I don't think people understand that. That is what he designed it for. It is called a transmitter. That's what your neural pathway. Look it up. I ain't got to lie to you now. Look it up for yourself. But the when they talk about your pathways, the neural pathways, that is nothing but a communicator, connector. And it tells your organs what to do. But that is your connector to the Father too, to the Holy Spirit. So what happens is when you don't get enough sleep, you don't have the accuracy that you typically would have. You know what I'm saying? You begin to slow down. Look, sometimes you be in a drunken state because people who don't, that's why they fall asleep at the wheel. They don't even realize that they just shut down. So you begin to naturally shut down, but you shut down spiritually too. And then you are sleepwalking while woke. Okay, and I'm gonna leave it there because I ministered on that. Y'all have to catch that on the replay somewhere. But anyway, that's a whole nother something. So come on, prophet, apostle, come on in here and bless us and free us from our minds. Listen, I'm excited, y'all. I really am excited. I love my friend. She is amazing. And I love that I went through the class because I've just been going through a whole divorce and I'm still free, healed, delivered, and set free, right? Even though I have moments where I may not want to talk. Like, I think this is probably my third time saying it out of my mouth that I'm going through a divorce, that I'll be divorced in a couple of weeks. But God is still good, right? Yeah. And so she talked about the foxes, the people that try to frustrate you and keep you stagnant and sitting. And what I'm realizing is, although I love him, he was my stumbling block. And so now that the stumbling block has been removed, I'm on a reset. Now, listen, the reset don't feel good to me, y'all. My money is funny. I'm living in a place that I'm not familiar with, that I'm not accustomed to. I know it's not what God is saying, but I'm in an in-between. Some of us go through a transition, woman of God, whoever was speaking about the church thing. We go through these levels of transition. But what people don't understand is when you in a transition, you got to walk through the in-between. See, we only see the outcome, you know, when you look unrecognizable, but you don't understand the in-between part. And so I am grateful to God in this season of my life that he has given me people for my in-between. Even though sometimes I don't want to talk to my friend, she still is my in-between. So what am I saying? Woman of God, you got to find the in-between. That's the place that pulls from you. That's the place that hurts. And so no longer will my husband be the stumbling block. See, now I got to pop out. I got to step out. See, y'all, I've been running. And so no matter what, I'm still going to stand. That's all I got to say. And that imprinting, right? That imprinting in the amygdala. See, what I asked God to do was burn it by fire. Right? That's what I asked him to do because I don't want to relive what I've already experienced. Listen, I've been in abusive relationships. I've been there and done it. They beat me and my kids. And so what happens is you have to ask God to singe. When something is singed, that means it's burnt off, unrecognizable. It goes to the ash. So you have to ask him to go to the amygdala, the place of imprinting, and ask him to singe it. Then you have to speak to the hippocampus. That is where the memories are. And you have to ask God to put his bomb on it, his blood, so that it begins to breathe. How you know something is breathing is when it's a pulse.
Jesus.
And I'm done. Because y'all done stirred me. I'm trying to clean, and I'm just trying to get my life together.
Listen, Hunty, listen. So y'all need to step on into more evening when we get on, because me, Dr. Heather, and Nigeria are going to be talking about this whole challenges of life stuff on tomorrow evening at 3 p.m. our time, right? But it will be 4 p.m. her time because she will be, she's an hour ahead. But listen, let me just say this. the sleep deprivation, and after so many days of no sleep, hallucination starts. You start to hallucinate, right? I think they said it's between 2 to 3 days or something like that, where you begin to hallucinate and you begin to see things and you begin to hear things and you begin. So can I say this? Lack of sleep will really take you into a mental disorder. Just your lack of sleep. Just lack of sleep. See, because you begin to see things that are not there. You begin to hear things that are not there. This is why the enemy fights tooth and nail to disturb our rest, to disturb us, period. Right? See, because sometimes your focus can be on something so great. Your focus can be there that your mind begins to run consistently, so you do not sleep. Why are you not sleeping? Because your mind is focused on the thing that's in front of you, when the thing that's in front of you should be Jesus. Oh, come on, talk to me about this. And when the thing in front of you is not Jesus, then you're seeing your circumstances and situations bigger than you do your God. And so now the enemy has stole your focus. The enemy has stepped in. Come on, I hear the Lord saying the enemy has stepped in, even from a spiritual place, to be a stumbling block to your purpose. Oh, come on, somebody. It's not even an actual person there. It's situations, it's circumstances. They're standing in front of you and they're a stumbling block. You can't even make it to purpose just because of circumstances and situations. And so when you think on these things, it's imperative that we deal with the daily little foxes, the little things. The offenses that gets in our way. Oh, well, they didn't do this. It offended you. But you didn't deal with the offense. You just kept going. But like Dr. Henley said, it's making an imprint. That imprintation. So that imprint is hidden on that brain, until suddenly that imprint is so steep that, as she said, only the blood can wipe it away. But see, because many of us don't even understand these concepts when it comes to forgiveness. We just believe, well, I saw them and I ain't feel nothing, so I'm free. The devil is keeping you deceived. He's keeping you deceived. Because if your freedom is based on seeing somebody, then you're not really free at all. Oh, come on. Y'all don't even want to talk to me about that part. Your freedom is based on seeing somebody. Then that means you're not free. Because I thought it was the person who you cannot see is the one that really sets you free. So think on these things. Because when it comes to us breaking free.
Prophet. Girl, I just need you to say that one more. Wait, you don't get to run from that one, woman of God. That right there, I need you to say that just one more time, and I just need you to expound on that just one more time for me. I don't know about for nobody else, but I mean for me, because I got to see him. So for me, I want you to go ahead and expound on that for me. If it ain't for nobody else, just tap it. Just tap it real quick for me.
Listen, she is so silly. So the whole concept of is we say that we're free, but our freedom is really contingent on the person that we cannot see. And his name is Jesus. So how is it that we base our freedom, whether or not we've forgiven somebody or whether or not we free from that individual, based on the fact that I saw him or her and it didn't do anything to me? But real freedom should be based on the one who said he came to set you free, somebody that you haven't seen. So if you haven't seen freedom, oh, come on. If you have never seen freedom, then how can you say you free just because you've seen somebody? It makes no sense. See, because my freedom is truly contingent on the one that I can't see, whom the Son sets free. Who the Son makes free, that's the one who's free indeed. So if I see you and I'm basing my feelings, because it's a feeling, I'm based in the fact that I don't feel something when I saw you. Oh, come on. I don't feel, I'm free. I forgave because I saw you and I didn't feel nothing. Where do we get that from? I saw you, ain't nothing rise up on the inside of me. Well, what happens when you see Jesus? Seriously, I'm just giving us something to think on from the space, you guys, that we have been taught and the things that we have been told to just keep. What is this? Whom the Son sets free, those are the ones that stand in true liberty. Because like Dr. Heather said, he came and he washed it away in my memory. So on the hippocampus that she was talking about, right? He came and he blew on that. When he healed my mind, he blew on. And so even some of the things that I should remember, I don't remember. Because he changed the imprint. Oh, come on. He literally went in there and he changed the imprint. And so even when family members say, Mimi, don't you remember? And I'd be like, I don't. Yeah. I don't remember that. And people think it's strange, but God doesn't. It's not strange to him at all. It was something that needed to be erased. Oh, come on, somebody. And so when we think on freedom and offenses, this is why it's imperative for us to forgive daily. So I'm giving you a new concept on forgiveness and what it looks like. Those little things. Somebody did something, you was in line and they just, oh, you need to be like, okay, God, I release that. I release that. Although I wanted to say X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna let that go. I'm not gonna even hold on. Am I making sense? We gotta learn how to release stuff quickly, but we fester it and fester it. And now, like Dr. H said, it begins to make that imprintation, and it's imprinting, and it's imprint, and the enemy knows that. And so he's going to keep causing those little things to hit. And then before you know it, that little ant hole became a mountain. And you don't even know why you exploded. And all they did was say duh, and you exploded. Why did you explode? Because you didn't deal with the little foxes, the little things that was getting in the way of your relationships. Does that make sense? See, because all this stuff has to deal with relational stuff. God called his people to be relational people. But if the enemy keeps getting in to affect my relationships, then how am I truly building? Because I can't build alone. We don't even want to talk about that part. I don't care how anointed you are. You can't build alone. God didn't set you up like that. Okay. And so we're going to go ahead and stop the Bible study. Anybody have any questions, any comments?